Undoubtedly, you've seen it if you're in the Tillamook area. It's the Tillamook Rock Lighthouse, built in the middle of the ocean back in 1880 on its little rock island.
America's oldest standing lighthouse. Jim Axelrod is there to look at the tradition that began before the American Revolution. Jim, good morning.
Well, good morning. It's not just America's oldest standing lighthouse, it's America's oldest lighthouse that's still in operation. The lights first went on here back in 1764, 250 years ago today.
Need for lighthouses themselves may soon follow, but never their place in our history.
The old lighthouse at Cape Agulhas. Built in 1848, it is still in use at the rough and storm-beaten southernmost tip of Africa.
finally, the main light at the top, burning 2 1/4 pints of paraffin from tanks at the base of the lighthouse every hour. The changer is operated by a mercury switch.
We know you can build lighthouses on rocks, but put yourself in the shoes of people 300 years ago, when that idea was as outlandish as building a tower on the moon.
When this lighthouse was opened in 1882, it was hailed as a miracle of engineering. And so it was. But believe it or not, it's not that lighthouse I've come to see. It's the ones that were here before it. For centuries, these rocks have sunk countless ships bound for Plymouth. With the great increase in maritime trade in the late 17th century, a way had to be found to protect ships from these foreboding rocks. Today, the strong southeasterly winds are making the approach to the lighthouse a wee bit tricky. But imagine having the nerve to build a lighthouse out here 300 years ago, with only flimsy wooden rowing boats to transport tons of material and teams of builders.
The man who did have the nerve to try this was one Henry Winstanley. He started building in 1696, and by 1699 he had completed his masterpiece. It had a stone foundation, but it was mostly a wooden structure. Imagine a wooden tower out here in the face of these gales.
After 3 years of struggle and one failure, in 1699 Winstanley was finally happy with his design. It was an amazing spectacle. The 120-foot structure was finished with ornate engravings and extravagant wrought iron details. Many people questioned the lighthouse's sturdiness. Would it be able to stand up to the unrelenting gales and ferocious seas? Winstanley's confidence in his tower was unshakable. He boasted, "I only wish that I may be in the lighthouse in circumstances that will test its strength to the utmost." On the 26th of November 1703, Winstanley's wish came true.
In the middle of Lake Superior right now, we're 45 miles offshore. There is not a peep, not a person around except the water and the giant fish below us. And an abandoned lake house, which you see over my left shoulder. We now want to see what is inside that lighthouse that was built in the 1800s and kind of talk about some of the history behind this thing, because while we are fishermen, we're also very curious people.
I know what's in there.
What's in there?
There's ghosts in there.
No.
I'm telling you, there's a ghost in there.
If there's ghosts
We're
there,
gonna show you the
no,
ghosts.
no.
We're gonna.
We're not talking like a few decades old. We're talking like, this is super old. And of course, oh, there's gotta be a basement. Of course there's a fucking basement. So yeah, I actually saw the floor plans of this thing. There is a lower level and of course the upper level. The lower level actually goes beneath, just right at water.
actual like sky, basically. Dude.